Thank you. So,
Yeah.
please, can I start or?
Yes, please, Elizabeth, the floor is yours, please.
Okay. All right. Once again, I'm welcoming everyone to this class. My name is Elizabeth again, and we'll be talking on Microsoft Planner. I'll be sharing my screen in a brief moment. So kindly give me a minute. Thank you. Please confirm if you can see my screen, and if you
Yeah.
can, let me know.
Yes, we can hear you and we can see your screen, ma'am.
Yeah,
Please go
thank
on.
you so much for the opportunity. So we'll basically be talking about Microsoft Planner. This session would be divided into two, a few minutes for some few minutes for the tutorials, which is theory, and then we can move on to look at two demo sessions. So we start with the Microsoft Planner. So what is our learning objective? Is to understand what the Microsoft Planner is, to create and organize tasks, create and configure plans and buckets. We'll get to know what all this means in the next section. Create, assign, and manage tasks, details, checklists, attachments. So someone may be wondering what Microsoft is. So your team is launching a new staff awareness program, right? But soon challenges arise. You realize that tasks are scattered. Your project manager or the person in charge of that program sends emails, sends chat messages. All the tasks that you're supposed to do are scattered everywhere. Responsibilities are unclear. People do not know what they are supposed to do. They don't know who is doing what, who is doing, because maybe the email was sent and copied with a lot of people, but they are not really, they are unsure of what their responsibilities are. Deadlines keep slipping because progress is hard to track. Because responsibilities are clear, no one knows what they are supposed to do. And because no one knows what they are supposed to do, deadlines then keep slipping because people don't know what to do. Then we can't even track our progress. And team members now feel frustrated and uncoordinated. Because of all this, the team members now realize that this is not really going on with us, right? We don't know what our responsibilities are. Our tasks are scattered. So it creates a whole lot of deadline sleeping, and everyone feels frustrated and uncoordinated. So to fix this, the team needs a structured way to assign tasks clearly, set deadline and track progress, communicate updates in one place, and keep everyone accountable and aligned towards the same goal, right? So that brings us to Microsoft Planner. So someone would ask, what is Microsoft Planner? So it's a task and teamwork management tools that helps people and team organize, assign and track their work in one shared space. So you can track your program or anything that you have created on the Microsoft Planner. You can assign, you can make sure that people are accountable in that shared space, right? So it's just an app. It's part of the Microsoft 365 app. So it's a paid, right? It's a paid app. So if your organization doesn't have the Microsoft 365, you are unable to have access to the Microsoft Planner, right? It's an app or it's a management tool that would help people organize whatever they have, right? You can assign people, you can track their work, and you can know when things have been done and what hasn't been done, right? So what is it used for? It's used to create plans for different projects or goals. It's used to break work into smaller tasks and assign them to team members. It's used to organize tasks into buckets, such as to do, in progress, and completed. So that bucket, you can know what things have already been completed, what things are yet to be completed, and what things we need to do. You can use it to set due dates, priorities, and checklists to keep everyone on track. So with a Microsoft Planner, you can, okay, if maybe you are doing like the wellness program we stated, we have tasks, okay, for the wellness program, maybe we'll do exercise. The exercise due date is maybe tomorrow, right? It gives you that assurance that, okay, by tomorrow I need to have this thing done. Priorities. So assuming that the exercise is something that is of top priority, you can set it as top priority and know that this thing, I have to do it as soon as possible. And checklist. The checklist then gives you, okay, I say I'll do exercise. Have I done that? So all this help everyone to stay on track. You can also see your progress visually using charts, boards, as well as calendar views. So if you're looking at your progress and you realize that we have things that we are not yet, or things that haven't been done yet, you can view that on your charts as well as the board in the calendar views. So this is basically what Microsoft's Planner is. All right. So why should you use Microsoft's Planner? It's very simple to use and visual, which means it has no complex setup. It's very, very easy to use, right? It encourages team accountability. Everyone knows what their responsibilities are, right? And they make sure that they do it, because if you don't do it, right, and you don't update the Microsoft Planner, your team manager or whoever is in charge of that team will then get to know, okay, this person hasn't done this. This person is yet to do this. So it encourages team accountability. You can use it to integrate Microsoft Team and Outlook, right? So someone will ask, okay, so if I'm being tasked to do this, how will I get to know, okay, that that's what I'm supposed to do? Once you integrate it with Outlook, once someone has been given a task, that person received that email through Outlook. And with Teams too, if you have any meeting or task, you can use the Teams calendar, right? So you can integrate the Microsoft Planner with both Microsoft Teams and Outlook, and it would help with your project management. It helps track progress, priorities, and due dates in one space. So just as I explained earlier, you can look at how your whatever you have set your mind on, or whatever task you want to do, you can check its progress and then look at how your priorities, if it's low, medium, high, you know that, okay, if it's high, I have to do it as soon as possible due to the due date, right? So it helps you track progress, priorities, and due dates in one space. Right. So I don't have to, the responsibilities will not be scattered across email. Maybe you have been asked to do a wellness program, right? You don't even know how you're going to track it because you don't know what has been done and what hasn't been done, right? But this Microsoft app allows you to track progress, right? Yes, to know what has been done, what hasn't been done. All right. So the benefits of using Microsoft Planner. Visibility. Everyone sees who is working on what and the task progress. Accountability. Tasks are clearly assigned with owners and due dates, right? So there is no need for you to be asking, okay, maybe Mercy, what tasks have you done? What you can just go into your Microsoft Planner, right? Look at the updates and then see, okay, Mercy did this, right? Or Mercy hasn't done this and the due date is getting near. No need to follow up repeatedly. Updates are visible. So just as I stated with the accountability, there is no need to be looking for people and then be asking, okay, the task I gave you, have you done it? What is the proof? Just look at what has been done from the Microsoft Planner, because people now have to be updating, members have to be updating their tasks, right? So you don't have to repeatedly be following up on tasks. You can just view it visually. Collaboration. Members can comment, attach files, and share updates easily, right? So just as I stated with the efficiency, people can attach files of what has been done. They can share updates. Okay, with tax A, that has been done. So they share updates and all that. And they say works with Microsoft Teams, Outlook, and To Do. So works best with Microsoft Teams, works best with Outlook, and To Do as well. So To Do is just tasks that needs to be done. Outlook is an email, right? And Microsoft Teams, we can have meetings and all that from there. So works best with this Microsoft 365 apps. Okay, so what are we solving? We are saying, okay, we are saying Microsoft Planner. We are stating, okay, the benefits. But what is the issue that we are trying to solve with the Microsoft Planner, right? The problem we are solving is who is working on what, right? We don't want to face that, okay, we don't know who is working on this, who is working on that. The responsibilities are unclear, right? What is the status of this task? We don't want to be asking ourselves, okay, we don't know, unless we ask someone. What if that person is not at work? How will we know the progress of this task, right? The problem we are also solving is where is the final file? Maybe it's in an email somewhere, because there is a place for attachments where someone can even upload that attachment of that final file, right? So these are all the problems we are trying to solve in one particular space, right? I missed an important update in a long email chain. You realize that, okay, they've been sending you email for so long, right? But you don't even know where the update is. But with Microsoft Planner, you just go check on this tax, realize, okay, there's an update here, which means tax A has been completed. Tax A is still in progress. Tax B has to be, it has to be done before the due date, right? So the problem we are supposed to solve are all this problem. And it says that Planner brings all this into a single transparent and visual hub. So who is working on what? What's the status of this task? Where is the final file? I missed an important update in the long email chain. Planner is going to solve all this problem, right? So let's move on with. So we have spoken about why we need Planner and all that. But one question we should ask ourselves is how to access it. For me to start, for me to use Microsoft Planner, first of all, you need to be subscribed to Microsoft 365 account. If you don't have that, you're unable to access Planner, right? So after maybe your organization has Microsoft 365 account, you then go to Microsoft or planner.microsoft.com, right? And then you sign in with your Microsoft 365 account, and then you can view or create plans. So first of all, you need Microsoft 365 account that is organizational based. Second of all, you go to your plannermicrosoft.com. Third of all, you start viewing or creating plans, right? So someone would ask, is it a free app? Microsoft Planner is not free, right? It's free to use if you have your Microsoft 365 subscription paid. But if you don't have the 365 subscription paid, you're unable to use the Microsoft Planner. Right. So this is how it looks like, right? I've given a visual view. This is some construction that is going on, right? We have the planned date, that date here. We have the resource cost. So these are called buckets, the top ones. They are called buckets, right? So it just states, okay, this is what we want to do. So the planned dates, so we have the dates there, planned hours, right? So we have been able to divide all these tasks. We have contracts, we have proposal, we have document review, we have buying dates, we have award dates. So all this has been divided, and we have the buckets in here. So then this gives the progress of what has been done. So the contract is at 90%, proposals are at 50, document review at 100, right? So with this, there is no need for the contractor to now be going to each staff, looking at, okay, with the sales, what has been done? Once the sales know that this is the tax is to do proposals. Once they are done with that, they record that progress in here. So the project manager or whoever is in charge of the project then see, okay, we are at 50%. The due dates that we are set for ourselves. Are we going on time or we are not on time? So all this, right, helps us track our tax, make sure that we are going on time, make sure that everyone is accountable, make sure that our project has deadlines, timelines to be completed. All right. So permissions, just like all Microsoft apps, there are roles and permissions in the planner as well. So you have the plan owner. The plan owner is the one who creates the plan. So the wellness program, the one that created it then becomes the plan owner, right? And he manages the members. So he can add members. He can add members, remove members. He can, can create plan, manage members, and edit all tasks. He has full control over Microsoft Planner. So he can create the plan, then manage members, add members to it, and then edit all tasks. And he has full control. So the members that are being added, they can add or update tasks. So once the plan owner then add members, the members can add or update tasks. Whatever has been done, they'll write it. If they want to add more tasks, they can do that. They can attach files to look at things that has been done, things that have not been done. They can also make comments. So with here, they don't have full control, right? They can't manage members. They can't create plan, but they can do edits. Then we have the viewers. Here, if the Microsoft Planner has been integrated with Teams, the viewers can read only. And they can see just the progress updates. They can't edit, they can't create plan, they can't edit all tasks, right? So we say that with the planner, he has full control, members has limited control, and the viewers are just read-only people. They can't edit, they just read only, right? So the permission is based by the group membership. That is the 365 group or access control. If you have been elected as a plan owner, you have full control. But if you are members, you can only edit. And if you are viewers, if the Microsoft Planner has been integrated with Teams, you can't do anything. You can just see there's the progress updates and then read. That is read only. You can't make edits. You don't have full control, nothing. So I've been mentioning what buckets are, what tags are. Someone would ask, okay, what does these things mean? Right. So if you say a planner or a plan, it's a container for related tasks. So if you want to do maybe a marketing campaign, you want to do exercising campaign, anything, a plan is a container for related tasks. So all the tasks that has been assigned to people, their container or wherever their head is called a plan, right? Then we have a bucket. A bucket is a column to group tasks. So wherever the task has been grouped, that is what we refer to as a bucket. So to do, in progress, done. So to do, maybe we have marketing campaign, maybe we have advertisement, right? Advertisement is a task, but it's under the bucket to do. Under the plan, marketing campaign. So marketing campaign then becomes the container that houses the tax, that is advertisement. Advertisement is under the bucket to do. And to do is under the plan marketing campaign. Then we have labels. So when we go into the demonstration, we'll see what labels are. Labels are just colored tags for quick characterization. So you can use red for high priority, green for maybe low priority. So if maybe an advertisement is in red and we have labeled it high priority, anyone that checks the planner that can see that, okay, for advertisements, this is a top priority for us. So we need to do this in order to be able to do our marketing campaign. Then we have charts and schedule. So with the charts and schedule, it gives the chart is a pie chart or a bar graph that gives progress of what has been done and what hasn't been done. So you use it for tracking. The schedule is just a date or a calendar type that allows you to know, okay, for advertisements, this is the due date. We have maybe 3 or 4 or 5 days to be able to do our advertisements. So the charts and schedule is for tracking, right? And you can view it, it's visual. So you can view it. It's used for tracking on our tax. So first of all, we have, let me go over it again. First of all, we have the plan is a container for housing our tax. Then we have buckets. So the bucket is a column to group tax. So we have advertisement under the bucket to do. Maybe you are done with advertisement. So we move that back, we move that to do bucket to the done bucket, right? It's under the plan marketing campaign. We have tax, a single work item with assignees, dates and details. So with the advertisements, once you do the tax, right, you have to assign it to someone, then add due dates to it, and then look at what that person needs to do. So the tax members can add tax, can update tax. The plan owner also can add tax as well as update it, right? So the tax then is given to someone. So first of all, the plan owner has to assign that tax to someone with due dates as well as a description of that tax. We have labels. The labels are the colored tags for quick characterization, which means that if the advertisement is in a high priority one, we can label it as red and state it as high priority. Then we have charts and schedule, which is built-in views for tracking. So we can track our progress, track wherever we have gotten to, and look at things that have been done and things that hasn't been done. All right, so I would like to know if someone has any question at this point. I'll give 2 minutes. If you don't have, then I can move ahead. Questions, please. Hello, can anyone hear me? Hello, or there are
Yes,
no questions?
we can hear you. I don't think there's any question.
Okay. All right, so we are moving on. So someone would ask, how does planner works? So first of all, you have to create a plan. You name your plan and choose who can access it. So either make it public, private, add members. Then you set up buckets. So buckets, we can name any bucket, maybe a planning, execution, and ending stage. So these are all buckets. So after you create your plan, under the plan, you have your buckets. So under the bucket, then you add the tax. So maybe under planning, or maybe it's marketing campaign. Then you add the tax. Marketing campaign, one of our tax is to create advertisement. So the advertisement then become your tax. So it says, create a plan, name your plan and choose who can access it. Set up buckets, group tasks under logical stages or departments, right? So you can name your buckets based on the plan that you are working on. add tasks, describe the work to be done, assign people and deadlines. So once you create your bucket, create your tasks, then you describe the work that has to be done, assign people to it, and then set deadline. After that has been done, you can then look at be checking progress, move tasks between stages, use charts to view completion. Then we have collaborate and communicate. So once you are tracking it, you can then be commenting, right? People can share attachments and also you can do integration with teams. So first of all, you create the plan, you set up buckets, you add tasks, you track your progress. Whilst tracking your progress, you can then be communicating, sharing comments, sharing attachments, and then integrate it with teams. So people that are members of your plan can then be viewing attachment that has been shared. You can integrate it with teams. You can add it to your to-do list. You can add it to Outlook, right? So this is how the planner works. So that would be the end of the theory session. I would like to ask if someone has another question before I stop sharing and then start with the practical aspect of the Microsoft Planner. All right, so I'll take this as we don't have any question. So since we don't have any question, I would like to ask two questions, right? Anyone with any answer can. My first question is, how well do we think Microsoft will work with our organization? Right? Kayode. I don't know if I mentioned the name right or wrong. Kayode, if you can help me with that. How well do you think Microsoft Planner would help with your organization? And then what do you think would be one of the benefits of Microsoft Planner to you personally? Is Kayode on the call? All right, so I'm okay. Okay, please can you kindly answer or can you help me with the answer, Mr. Coyote? All right, so looks like I'm unable to get through to Mr. Coyote. Can I, Messi, please can you assist me with that? How do you think Microsoft Planner would work with your organization, and what do you think the one benefit of Microsoft Planner is? Okay, so from the meeting chat, Mr. Coyote says the usage would help us to organize our tasks accordingly. All right. So that would benefit your organization. What do you think another benefit of the Microsoft Planner would be? Mercy, please, you can also give your views on that. Hello, Mercy, are you with us? Okay, Mr. Coyote says it will increase efficiency at work. All right. Thank you so much for your answer. So I'll stop sharing my slides for now. We'll then move on to the practical aspects, and once we are done, we can call it a day. So I'll stop sharing my screen and then open up the Microsoft Planner so that we look at how the interface is. Thank you.
Um, Elizabeth, we can't hear you. I don't know if you're speaking.
Hello, sorry about that.
Okay.
You can
Please.
hear me now, right?
Yes, yes, we can hear
Okay.
you now.
Okay. So let me start all over again. I'm coming. Give me a minute. So first of all, I was explaining whatever was in the slides. I was stating that, okay, I'm taking one and then explain before we move on to how to create a plan and how to create a task. So I was stating that we have charts, right? We stated that the charts have a bar chart or pie chart that states our progress. So we use this to track our progress, right? So we have the bucket called execution, which means that we are supposed to execute something. And when you hover on it, you see that it has execution stage completed. So this one tracks our progress. When you hover on this one too, it shows that okay, we have completed one task. So not started here has 0, which means we haven't started anything. Not in progress here is 0, which means none of our progress. We don't have anything in progress. We don't have anything that has been late. So after the due date, there is nothing that shows that okay, we haven't done this, right? And completed, which means that we have done one task. Then we have schedule. So the schedule is where we can also track our progress. So the schedule is a calendar-based one that we can, okay, if maybe we did our tax for advertisements and we give the due date on 24th, right? It gives you, okay, we have up to 24th to be able to complete that tax. We have something called board. So the board is generally the dashboard that gives you, okay, this is what you have, the planning stage, the execution stage, the monitoring stage, right? So this is just the dashboard that has everything. Then we have the grade. The grade then shows your tax name, who it was assigned to, the start date, the due date, right? So someone as we have been mentioning buckets. What are these buckets? So the buckets are these ones. We see one called planning stage. That is one aspect of a bucket. Execution stage is another part of the bucket. Monitoring is one part of the bucket. And my plan is called a team productivity tracker, right? And under this plan, we have the bucket called planning stage, execution stage, monitoring. So this has been divided into things that we want to do. So at the planning stage, what are the tasks that we want to do? So you can add all the tasks that you want to do in the planning stage, as well as the execution stage, as well as the monitoring stage. Right. So let us create one plan and then create some buckets under it, beneath it, and then add some tasks to be done, and then assign it to someone. Right. So to be able to do that, I'm going back to my plan. And when you go back, you see that there is an arrow with a plus sign that has new plan, right? So you click on that. Once you click on it, you can see create new. It has templates. So the template, if you are working on software development, you can click on this template. Sprint planning. So any plan that you want to do, there are some basic and premium templates. So the premium is your subscription, right? Based on your subscription, that would give you limited or more. So let us create a basic plan. So we have clicked on the new plan. We are going to type this plan, then we are going to give it a name as staff training plan. right? So this one, you can either add it to a group or not. If you're part of the HR group or technical delivery group, you can add it to that. So staff plan, training plan, right? So you then create it. So I've created my plan. So there is always a default bucket called to do. So this one is editable, which means that you can edit this to suit whatever you want to do. So the bucket helps group tasks logically, which means that if maybe here I have planning, I can put in tasks that are related to planning. If here I have execution, I can put in things that are related to execution, right? So the bucket here then gives us things that we can just look at. So I'm going to change this bucket and name it and name it. I'll still keep it as to do. Right? So it has to do. So with the training plan, this is what I'm supposed to do. Then under the bucket, we can add the tags. So I can add called book training venue. Set a due date. So the due date maybe 24th of October. Then assign. So in here, we can assign it to someone, right? So this is the Demi app. So that is why you're not seeing real people's emails in here. But if your organization has subscription on the planner, once you key in the person's email or the person's name, it pops up, right? So you can assign it. So once you assign it, it pops up in here as in tags. So you can add as many tags as you want, right? So I would add another tag called send invitation. I'll set the date, maybe 27th, then assign it to someone, right? So once I'm done, I'll just add the tags. So the tags in here then becomes 2, right? So under to do, I have send invitation. So once I assign someone here, the person gets an email in their Outlook that, okay, you have been assigned to book training venue, you have been assigned to send invitation. So this is what you are supposed to work on. And your due date is on 27th of October. Right? And so it means that this tax is owned by someone and has a due date. So you can then be able to see responsibilities, everyone and his responsibilities. And you can assign this to as many people as you can. Right? So you assign it to maybe Mercy. Mercy gets an alert from her Outlook that, okay, you have been assigned to send invitation. So this is your responsibility. You have to send invitation. All right. So once you do that, I like to change this planning, to do to planning, right? I'm changing the buckets to planning. So for us to do a staff training plan, we have to first plan. And for us to plan, we have to look for the training venue, we have to send invitation. And this would be handled by Mercy, this will be handled by Coyote. I can create another bucket called execution. Another bucket. So you can add as many buckets as you want, depending on the project that you are doing and what its phases is in. Like that. So in here, right, we have this as send invitation, we have assigned. Remember I stated that there was something called label that you can add to your task. So in your task, you can add a label to state that, okay, I'm stating that this is a high priority. So we have red here. So with the red, we can edit it and label it as high priority. And then choose it. So it will pop up on the interface that this send invitation is of high priority, right? And we can change the priority in here as urgent, important, medium, low, right? So this is just categorization that you can use to categorize your tax. And this priority shows that, okay, this send invitation is of an urgent one. We need to do it as soon as possible. So I'm doing this as urgent as well. I've already done the due date. The start would then depend on the time that the person wants to start. So if the person wants to start today, just click on today. So with the note is where we want what we want to write under the send invitation. So we can write, okay, Mercy has to send the invitation to the staff of Transformation College. Right? So this gives a description of what the task entails and what needs to be done, right? Then checklist. Checklist. With the checklist, it's just things for you to be able to track whatever you want to do. So if it's invitation, we can have invitation letters. Maybe envelopes, because you need envelopes to be able to send out your invitation. So once the invitation has been done, you can just check this, right? To state that, okay, I've been able to send out the invitation and in envelopes, or I have my invitation cards, I have my envelopes. So the checklist is for you to be able to track whatever you want to do with regards to your tax. Then we have attachments. Attachments are any files that you want to add or attach for people to be able to see updates or anything. So for them to be able to track your work, you can add attachments, right? So you can add a link to a URL. You can also upload from your computer. In here, it's not showing as in upload from computer, but you have that to be able to attach from your computer. So once that is done, you see that it has the agency icon in here. Is also stating that this is of high priority. So any member that opens up the planner then gets to see that, okay, send invitation is of high priority. We can look at who it was assigned to, we can look at the details, we can look at the due date, right? So with the execution, I'll create other tasks. Or if this has been done, I can move this, right? I can move this send invitation. So assuming that this send invitation has been done, I can move this to execution to state that, okay, for the execution have been done. How would I know that that has been done? So in here, we change the progress from not started, in progress, to completed. So you can drag it from planning to execution and then show or edit the update to show, okay, I've been able to complete this task, and drag it in here. So once that has been dragged, you see that it cancels it out, which means this task doesn't need to be done anymore. And it even showed who completed it. So I did the completion, I've edited it. It has given me completed by technical delivery on 10th of 17th of October. So when we check my charts, you see that we have completed, right, and not started. In here, we stated that we have been able to complete that. Not started is for the other tax I did at the planning tax. That is the book training venue. That hasn't been started yet. That is why you see the tax not started. But the one I pushed to the execution and I made the upgrades on completed, you see that you can track it here. So it gives the plan owner and members, they can view, everyone can view what has been done and what hasn't been done. All right. So with that, you can create as many tasks as you want, assign it to a lot of people, and then view the progress of that. So this is basically everything about Microsoft Planner. Then we have something called filters here. So with the filters, you can filter it to look at things that have been late. So if you do maybe late, it would then pop up things that has the due date is over yet and hasn't been done. We can do today and we can filter for today and then look at things that needs to be done today. We can look at priority and look at urgent. So the filtering is just for the plan owner or members to be able to track or look at the progress of the plan or the progress of the task that has been done on the planner. So this filtering then allows you filter out anything. So you can hold people accountable by using the filtering icon here or the tab in here. So this would be the end of the class. I don't know if anyone has any other question that they would want to ask or if they are fine. Does anyone have any question? Does anyone have any question, clarification, want me to go over it? You don't understand something, kindly come out so that I would answer your question. All right, so since there is no question, or in the absence of any question, I'd like to stop sharing my screen in here, and that would be it for me. So yeah, please, you can take over, Mr. Bumi.
All right, thank you so much, Elizabeth. Please let's give Elizabeth a round of applause in the chat box. Let's all appreciate our trainer. It was really wonderful. I never knew about Microsoft Planner till today. So please let's all appreciate our trainer in the chat box, please. All right, and please, if you're yet to fill the attendance form, please endeavor to do that right now, please. Fill in the attendance form.
Um, Mr. Kayodo was like, can you start from where you launched the app, please? Oh, okay. So first of all, you just click on Microsoft Planner and then the app will launch, but you would need to have the Microsoft 365 subscription before you be able to have access to the Microsoft Planner. I hope that is okay. Yeah, Mr. Bummy, please, you can continue. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. A recording of this session will be made available along with the slides on the WhatsApp group and on the Telegram group. So thank you so much for joining us today, and we will see you again next month. Please endeavor to practice and learn to make use of these tools. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. Have a great weekend.